Hey, hey, Beth Packard here, and I have been asked about 1,000 times to share my testimony, to share the adventure that we went on last week. We got the opportunity, my husband Aaron and I got the opportunity to go with a team of and just incredible people, incredible leaders here in the industry. And we went to Young Living's Highland Flats Tree Farm in Naples, Idaho. It was absolutely incredible, you guys. If you've not been and visited a farm, I am not a green personality. I am not into all the details and all the things, but there was something that took place last week when we stepped foot on the grounds of that tree farm, when we walked through the distillery, when we were in community with other like-minded believers and just passionate about health and wellness, something that shifted and something that changed. And I cannot implore you enough. I'm going to share a little bit about my trip last week, and I just want to encourage you that if you haven't been yet, you've got to get there, and you've got to get to one of the many, many, many farms all over the world that Young Living has, and just experience the seed to seal process for yourself. It is out of this world. So I'm going to start with something really fun because I want to have fun today with you guys. And so something really cool that you guys I think will like is when you are on, when I went to Silver Retreat, there was an abundance of goodies for us and free things here and there. And when we went to Winter Harvest last week, I just want to shout out to our upline, Max and Karen Hopkins, who invited us and let us partake in that, to Laura Hopkins, who took care of us all week, and we just had an incredible time. And the entire farm staff, wow, you guys, it was just incredible up there. And I wanted to share pictures and videos and things too, but I can't get my Zoom to work right. And so anyway, I'm just going to share and entertain you as I can right here. So one of the awesome things that I learned in doing a challenge with another one of my Young Living sisters, my Crossline sisters, was we had boxes of Nitro and Ningxia Red and some other goodies just sat out for us to enjoy. And at one point we decided to do a Nitro challenge. And in the past, I have not been a big, I have a lot of just energy all by myself, and I don't need extra energy. But what I found out while I was doing this challenge was that it could even be better. It could be better than what I've experienced in the past. Okay. And so what I did was we did a little Nitro challenge while we were out one day. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you a trick in case you don't know this. And then I'm going to just let you, if you haven't experienced Nitro yet, you need to. There's something that takes place in your brain that just makes you be able to be focused more, to be on point, to just give you, for me, it just opens up ideas and gives me I don't know, I just it's good. It's good stuff, you guys. You got to try it. So, I already knew this, but they talked about it a lot. You know how sometimes we squeeze all the stuff out of the packets? If you'll blow into them instead of squeezing the guts out of them, they said 3 times. So you blow air back into it, and then it opens it up and it just pours out. So just a little tip for you. I didn't do it 3 times because I just lost all my lipstick on there. Anyway, so we spent 5 days in 2 feet of snow, you guys. And there's just something about snow that just makes everything magical and beautiful. And I just want to share with you a little bit about the experience and what took place. And we got to spend our first night at the Highland Flats Tree Farm, and it was just incredible. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Spokane, the nearest airport. And we drove up these snow-packed roads that were just incredible. The views were incredible. I was oohing and awing absolutely the entire week. There was something just so magical about it. I don't even know if you guys have seen the videos and the pictures that I've shared. I know you understand what I'm saying. So we got there, and literally the Highlands Highland Flat Tree Farm was built, Gary built this, our founder, Gary Young, he built this with army tents, you guys. So there are two of the original like army tents up, and that's where we had our food and where we congregated and we had meals together. And they've since built on, and there were cabins. We had, I think there were 7 couples that went on this trip, and then some singles too. And there were cabins, individual cabins for each one of us. There were hot tubs, saunas, hot tubs filled with our oils, you guys. After our hard days of work, our hard days of work, yes. We went and got to just lounge in those hot tubs filled with Idaho blue spruce and Idaho balsam fir. One was with Melissa. I'm talking, this was heavenly. It was incredible. And this is something that you don't get to experience when you go to convention or you go to just visit a farm offhand. But when you go to a harvest, a winter harvest was just absolutely amazing. So we spent that first night at the tree farm in Naples. And we got up the next morning and we actually got to do something special that's not usually on the list. And we took the trip that Gary used to take. So there's not always been a distillery at the tree farm there in Highland Flats. Gary and his team used to drive the trucks 3 hours down these mountain roads, snowy mountain passes, through these cities, through these towns, to St. Mary's farm, which is the very first farm that Young Living ever had, the farm that Gary brought his lavender seeds over from Europe to, and he planted there. And so the very first distillery, the very first farm was at St. Mary's. So we took the drive, that 3-hour drive, from the Highland Flats Tree Farm to St. Mary's on our first official day there at Winter Harvest. And we got to see that drive, and we got to go and just experience not just one farm, but 2 farms, which was a surprise to all of us and is not normally something that takes place during Winter Harvest. So we got to go to St. Mary's farm, the very first farm. We experienced, we did not raindrops, but I can't actually remember what it was called, but a different technique that Gary's cousin taught us. And we had tables set out, and we did this technique that was similar to raindrop, but not. We did that. We got to go and visit the distillery. We got to bathe, soak rather, in the hot tubs of Melissa. We got to just see the farm. Of course, it was all under snow, a couple of feet of snow, but to just see it in its beauty now, and then to know what it's going to look like in the summer when all of the herbs are back up. On the St. Mary's farm, they have clary sage, Melissa, lavender. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but that's what they grow there in this mountain valley, and it is just breathtaking. It's wide open and just absolutely incredible, just out in the middle of nowhere. It was completely silent when you stepped outside. It was so amazing. So we spent a day there, stayed the night there, and then we went home the next day, or went back to the Highland Flats Tree Farm the next day. And on our way back, we actually stopped at a research facility, which I didn't even know existed, called I don't remember if it was Elmira or Elvira. I got confused because people started singing the song, and I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, and so we went to that. We got to cut. They actually are in that small little facility. They're actually just doing research to see what trees may have properties that we want for new oils. And we got to cut and be part of a distilling process with a cork bark fir tree. And we cut the tree. We watched him distill it, and then we got samples of that, and so we brought back samples of that cork bark fir, and that was absolutely incredible. It's got the date on there and everything. So this is an oil that is not yet in the line yet, that's just being tested. It's being researched right now. We got to be a part of that experience and to see how that all works, so that was super incredible. Then from there we went back to the Highland Flats farm. And the next day we split up, and we did one day, my team went to the distillery first, and I got to drive a skid steer. Yep, they really let me drive a skid steer, and it was a little bit scary, but I was thankful that my dad had taught me how to drive a lawnmower, you know, that has like the thingies. I don't even know, you guys. Don't make fun, but like the thingies, because it helped me in the skid steer. And we got to move the chips of wood from the trees into the distiller. Then we got to pack the distiller. We got to jump around in it and pack it down. We got to watch it be the pressure come in and cook it, and then we saw them take it out and take it to the where they compost it, and then they put that back in the farm, and you know, there's no waste involved. They use every part of it. And what I love is that day we got to see the oil being distilled. We got to bottle the oil. We all got to bring home our beloved Idaho balsam fir, which they had us label them upside down so that we knew that this came from the farm, and that we actually got to bottle it. While we were there, there was, you know, the secrets were still out about what kicked off last weekend, the kickoff, and where they brought this back into stock, and now it is called Grand Fir rather than Idaho Balsam Fir. And so these are the last bottles that will ever be made that are Idaho Balsam Fir that have that label on them. So that was kind of a cool thing that we got to experience and be part of. My husband had actually hurt his knee right before we came on the trip, and so he had his knee up a lot during the trip. And when we got this balsam fir, I said, let's use this, let's put it on it. And so we put it on, and I am telling you guys, it helps so much. He actually is off. He went from the Idaho farm to the Philippines, and he's on a short-term mission trip right now. He took it with him. He's been using it and loving it, and it's helping so much with the swelling and stuff that was going on. And so this oil, formerly Idaho Balsam Fir, now called Grand Fir, it is available in your virtual office. You need to go get you a bottle. It's incredible. I have actually, this is my shirt, my swag I got from the research farm, and it is covered in the Idaho Balsam Fir, the Grand Fir. It smells like it. It smells so strong. And I'm like, I don't want to wash it, but I had to wear it today while I was doing the video about it. So it smells like heaven. So we did snow angels in the chips of the wood. We got to see the whole process. So we went to the distillery. Then the next day we went out to the actual land. And the trees are actually coming from a Christmas tree farm, an abandoned Christmas tree farm. And Gary found this, you know, and he talked to the owners, and he was like, hey, like, let's work together. Let's do this thing. And what I really love and what I think is beautiful, and the Lord was really speaking to me through this, was so many of the logging companies, they come in and they cut the trees down up there, and they don't have a use for the branches, and they don't have a use for the parts of the tree that actually carry the most valuable thing in the world. They carry our oils. And so when a logging company comes in and they cut down the trees, they're shredding all of the bark, they're shredding all the branches off, and they're just throwing those aside, and they're taking the logs themselves. And what I saw was Young Living really at the core of no waste, no nothing getting left behind. So what Young Living does is they go in and they cut these trees down. They have this incredible machine. I don't remember what it was called, but they have this incredible machine that will cut the trees. It like shakes the trees and gets the snow off of them. It drops the trees. They cut them into the length that they need it for the logging company. They sell those logs to the logging company, and then we keep all of the branches and all of the stuff that the logging companies don't want, and we use that and extract our oils from that. So we are using the whole tree. Every part of the tree is being used. And the Lord just kept speaking to me about that is what He wants from us. He wants us to use every part of every person. And there's no one that's more important than any other person, but that we need to use the parts of the body as He is intended and not waste any of it. And so I was just so amazed by that, and how beautiful Young Living is walking out like godly principles, and you know, and I don't know that they're even thinking about it, but like this is what the Lord was just speaking to me about. And it was just such an incredible time to just see God in all of the beauty that was taking place there, and to just know how incredible and enlightening it was, the revelations that were flowing in the midst of this time. And so I just wanted to share that part with you. I wanted to share a little more because I do love people so much, and we had the most incredible team there, you guys. Like, I knew Laura, and I knew Max and Karen, and I have met only online Tracy before, and other than that I didn't know anyone else that was going to be there besides my husband, obviously. And so these were all cross-line members. These were all new people, and we bonded like family in seconds, you guys. We had just an incredible time. We talked like till our talkers didn't talk anymore. One night we had gotten into, a friend of mine and I had gotten into such a deep conversation, and we were having so much fun that we were hanging out in the bathroom, and we ended up just sitting down on the floor in the bathroom, and people kept walking by and just looking at us like, what are you doing? And we're like, oh, we're just hanging out. And women were coming in to go to the bathroom, and they were just feeling the presence of God and needing more, just wanting more. And so we were praying with women and just loving them, just like really meeting them where they were at and just loving on them. And that, to me, that was the highlight of the trip. The people, everybody was asking, so what was your favorite part? What was your favorite part? And really the people, the community that was built in just 5 short days was my favorite part. It was incredible to see people from all walks of life. We had like diamonds in there down to executives. Like, it was a vast range of ranks in Young Living, and people just from all over the country. And it was just incredible to see that, like, we are no different. We are all going towards the same goal, and we're in unity, and we have the same vision. And I think that as we, even in this group, I am so in love with this new group that we have for our members, like the community that is bonded together, and that we can work together, and that we can it's just going to expound. It's going to grow so tremendously because we have one vision and we're working towards that. And that was my highlight. That was my favorite part of it. I love that I got to spend time, with nothing else going on, just time together with our Young Living family. And if you guys haven't ever been to an event, I mean any kind of event, if you haven't been to a class and that wasn't online, something that's in person, there's something valuable, there's something so profound about getting together in community and just sharing your heart, letting people love you, letting people take you along with them on their journey. And I just encourage you, especially if you've made it this far in my really long video here, if you've made it this far and you're longing for that, reach out to your upline, reach out to your downline, reach out to the people who've introduced you to Young Living. And if you're not part, if maybe somebody's watching this and they're not part yet of a community like this, like, just reach out to me, reach out to whomever you are feeling called to reach out to, and let us take you on that journey with us. Let us invite you in. You're part of the family. You get to be part of the family. It just takes you stepping out and saying, hey, I want a part of this. I want to be part of this. And so I encourage you to do that. That is the most incredible thing. And it felt like family the whole weekend when we had to say goodbye. It was so hard, and yet we exchanged phone numbers, and we exchanged, we're friends on Facebook now, and we get to continue to help each other and to grow and to just love one another. And that is what I love about Young Living. That is what I love about the community. This particular community, they all were believers. They all loved Jesus. And so we bonded over that. And you can bond with your team over whatever it is that you guys all have in common. And just sharing that, bringing people alongside. I know a lot of people don't want to do the business side of Young Living, but bringing family alongside you is not doing the business, but it's still helping people. It's still loving people. And so I encourage you, if you love these products, if you love and you've been, they've just made a difference in your life. If you found something like this little guy that is so incredible and gives you the energy you need and the brain power, and it just helps you. Like, if you found that with a product that Young Living has, or maybe like my husband and the Idaho Balsam Fir that helped him, if you found that, you need to be sharing that with others. That's what love looks like. That's what family looks like. You share these things with people, and you share your referral link, and you don't have to do the business. You can just love people. That's how this is going to spread. That's how these new oils, that's why we're researching and we're doing this, is so that we have enough to share with the whole world. And that's Gary's vision. And as we come alongside with Gary's vision to share the oils and get them into every home in the world, we're going to find a camaraderie. I think that's the word I'm looking for. We're going to find that in this family, and we're going to grow and expand, and we're going to be able to get our oils for free, and we're going to be able to bless our families. We're going to be able to bless other families. Like, it's my passion to help people find their niche within Young Living and to see how they can use it in their spheres of influence, because we all have those. We all have somewhere that we have a sphere of influence in. And so I just encourage you, whatever it is that you love the most, find ways to use your oils in those places. Take them out in public. Show people that you're experiencing something, because I guarantee you they're longing for that. They're longing for it just like you were longing for it before you found Young Living. And I wish that I would have listened sooner. Any of you wish you would have listened sooner? Yes, I think we all do. And so I just want to encourage you. I kind of got off on a tangent, but get to an event. Get to an event in your area. If there aren't any, have your own. There are so many classes out there. There's so many things, and maybe you just sit around with your starter kit and you just share, like, oh my gosh, I love this oil for this reason. Oh my gosh, this one's amazing for this. And you just share, and you share your heart with your friends. Like, that's community. That's what we need, and that's what's going to help us to soar into this next season, into this 2020 year, and we're going to just see incredible growth, and we're going to see incredible things, not just in our own personal lives, but in our families and those around us, and we're going to bless them so tremendously by that. So thank you for letting me share about Winter Harvest. It absolutely was the most breathtaking, beautiful place. I've been to beaches, you guys, and I'm a beach girl. I love the ocean, but I'm not sure the incredible beauty of the north and the snow, and I've never seen anything like that. I have not ever seen anything like it. It was absolutely incredible. And for those of you who love all the science and you love all that, that was there too. It was. You could ask all the questions you wanted, and you could get all the information you wanted. I just love people, and so that was where my heart was at, and I went towards that. But everything you want is there. You just have to look for it, and you have to be open and teachable. And so I just encourage you guys, get to an event, get to the farms. This is life-changing. My husband, who went with me, this was his first event. Really, he had been to one class that I had taught, an Oils of the Bible class, but otherwise this was his first Young Living thing in 5 years. And I'm sure he'd be fine with me telling you this, but it changed him. It did something. He saw men, other men. There were a lot of men there, and he saw that, and it really helped him to understand that this is not just a company of women doing girl stuff and girl parties and all this stuff, but that it truly is changing people's lives. It truly is changing the world that we live in, and it's so important. And so if you can get your team, if you can get your friends to events, do it. It's so important. It's going to change everything. And I'm just going to end with that and tell you guys that you're amazing. And excuse me, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so thankful to Laura for inviting us and for this opportunity. And I hope that one day, very soon, I get to take my own team up to Winter Harvest and experience this together with them, because it was incredible, and I'm never going to forget it. Never, ever, ever. So if you guys want to see videos or pictures, follow me on Facebook. You can just go to my page, Beth Packard, and you can click the follow button. You don't have to be my friend if you don't want to, but you can click the follow button, and you can go and you can see all my pictures and my videos that I shared, and there's a lot of awesome stuff, and I think you'll love it, and you'll get to see and experience a lot of that stuff through that. And I even got to drive some horses, you guys, like pulling logs with horses. It was incredible. The coolest things that you could ever think of, we got to do. And so you need to experience it. You guys have an amazing day. Thanks for sticking with me this long. I know it was kind of a long one, but it's so valuable, and you guys are awesome.